So the media has really latched onto this story about Hasan's brief encounter. Here's why I think this is important to talk about. First, I think it's important that he has noted that he's been regularly targeted while traveling through airports. His name is Hasan. Despite being born in the United States, I think he spent a lot of his life in Turkey. He's raised Muslim, I think. So yeah, TSA is probably gonna target him. It's not right or fair, it's just reality. And I think it's important because he's spent his life getting targeted by TSA, and even this was not a normal encounter by his own account. The implications being that business is not being conducted as usual with TSA and ICE and border enforcement. And if you are someone who often gets pulled aside by TSA, just assume you will be going forward, especially if you've been out of the country. We'll go over your rights and best practices in a minute, but you better bet I looked that and memorized it. The story with Hasan is also notable because while he is someone who gets profiled by TSA regularly, he's also a wealthy person who has the means to hire lawyers. He has a lot of friends with public platforms who would raise the profile of this issue if it got out of hand. He's also an able-bodied man with no children. He was entering the situation with a lot of privilege, and so he was able to enter the space with less fear and panic than your average person who's getting pulled into a room and interrogated, probably. That's going to color his telling of his experience, but it also allowed him to come out on the other side and then tell us all about it, which I think is important. A lot of people in his comment section were giving him letting them take it that far, and if I were his lawyer, which I'm not, I would not have probably advised him to answer all those questions. But from an investigative journalism standpoint, given his privilege entering that situation, I think it was a service of him to have come out the other side with that intel and then told the world. Another